the last ding got through on the mic. I heard it go through. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to another edition of Kiwanis Connects, coming to you live, the home of Las Vegas's WWDBTV. I am Aaron Phillips. Of course, the beautiful woman you see on the screen with me, she is none other than the boss in charge for another 15 days here of the DeKalb District. Governor Val, how are you, my friend?
I'm awesome. Unfortunately, I can't see you right now. I don't know what I did to my screen, but it's been that kind of day so far.
So, well, we see you, so all is good from that perspective. Maybe during the first commercial break, maybe just quickly reboot if you can and try to reconnect or check your settings on that camera. But be that as it may, I want to just remind everybody, thank you for tuning in. If you're watching us on Facebook, excellent. You can also watch us on the WWDBTV Facebook page. Same two channels. No, take that back. WWDBTV on YouTube. We don't have a Kiwanis Connects YouTube channel as of yet. But, of course, you can also check us in about 72 hours.
Timeshare call.
Oh, John just got a timeshare call. Jeez Louise. Anyway, you can also in about 72 hours, it'll be up on the WWDB-TV network, which you just download that. And, of course, not only can you check out Kiwanis Connects, but you can check out the many choices, or the plethora, as John now calls it, of options of shows. If you're driving around town like back east right now, it's noontime. You're probably out and about for lunch. Download the WWDB-TV app to your phone if you have an Android. WWDB-TV LV if you have an Apple product, iPhone, or whatever Apple puts out there. You can try it there. And if you'd like to join us today in the conversation, 702-992-3207, 702-992-3207. So, unfortunately, Val can't see the studio right now, John, for some reason. So during the breaks, we'll have to check her settings. So I just want to let everybody know that is watching right now, especially good friend Douglas Chadwick on the desk in front of me. Oh, you can see us now. Excellent. Okay. On the desk in front of me, tomorrow, ladies and gentlemen. Val, did you know tomorrow is a very special day in the calendar?
I do, and I'm so excited about it.
Oh, you do know. Tomorrow is National Batman Day. That's right. I said it. National Batman Day. Not a National Superman Day. Not a Hulk Day. Batman Day. Matter of fact, they're released big. Shut up, John. In the meantime, they are releasing the trilogy of Batman, the Christopher Nolan version with Christian Bale. They are releasing those out in movies across the country to celebrate. Many of you know I'm a huge Batman guy. So today is the National Batman Day Eve show. And that's because on the 19th of September, Val, do you know whose birthday is on September 19th?
No, I don't.
Ralph Nader.
No, not even Johnny Knoxville. Adam West himself. So this day is kind of tying into his birthday. So go out, pow, wow, zam, pop, right. So go out and enjoy being your Batman self, as I did at work yesterday. I was dressed in as much Batman stuff as I could find, Val. Would you have expected anything else from me?
I am so excited that you did. And just before we go on break, the next time around, I'll show you a gift that our closest and best viewer, Doug Chadwick, gave to me, because it's my Batgirl Batmobile. Bat bike.
Yes. Bat Mike?
Bat bike.
Oh, bike. I think it said bike.
Yeah, motorcycle.
I'm anxious to see that. That would be cool. Yeah. Love that. Thank you. By the way, I special shout out to Douglas, because as I found out at Decon Val, he is the Batman supplier. So perhaps for Halloween, I showed you the costume over the weekend that Douglas was so kind enough to send. May have to make an adjustment or two on the front of the suit, but that's another thing to deal with. But anyway, thank you, Douglas. I appreciate it. And go out and enjoy your Batman. Dig into your younger self, as campy as you want to be, because God knows the Adam West version of Batman was probably the best. Not a knock on Michael Keaton. I love Michael Keaton as far as I'm concerned. He's 1, and Christian Bale's 1A as far as the movies are concerned. And don't tell me about what's his name, George Clooney, because the only thing he was famous for in the Batman was the nipples on his bat suit. So don't give me you know what I'm saying? So anyway, I digress, because it's Batman Day. So let's bring it back around the horn. How are you doing since we last met? Of course, you were here in Vegas over the weekend, but what's been going on this week, just in general?
Well, I'm a little sleep deprived. And so I have actually worn out car number 2 being governor at this point in time.
Car number
2. I put over 30,000 miles on this car since March of this year. And that's because there's so much going on in our district. It's just been amazing. And so I was actually in your neck of the woods on Sunday. And so it was so great to see you.
Yes.
And, we're realizing that in Las Vegas, we have more key clubbers that serve in Las Vegas area than there are in many districts across Key Club International. That's amazing because they have almost 3,000 key clubbers in one city.
That's a lot.
That's a ton.
But the good thing is they bring such energy that if we could just bottle that up and sprinkle it across Kiwanians, we'd be perfect, wouldn't we?
Absolutely. They, on average, feed 120 people per key clubber in any given year. And you think about how much food that actually is. Breakfasts, lunches, ending hunger over the weekend for kiddos. That's amazing. But they couldn't do it without the Kiwanis clubs that are there. And so that's why we need a lot more Kiwanians around our district, because our key clubbers really need us. And so right now, I keep telling everybody, if you want to do something special and important, join Kiwanis.
Yeah, absolutely. John, can you check the Facebook feed? Because I'm on our page and I'm not seeing the show on the Facebook. So if you just double check that, as you turn the switch on, I would appreciate it. Yeah, I started my career in Kiwanis, of course, through the Key Club myself. It was something that I have cherished because it was fun back in my day. I was a founding member of my Key Club back in the day, and to come through the ranks through Circle K. And of course, Kiwanis' career is something that has been very special for me. And listen, anytime anybody out there can be around Key Clubbers, ladies and gentlemen, get out there and do it, please, because you'll get so fired up about life in general, let alone what they do in the community would be a tremendous thing, certainly.
Absolutely. I am not one of those cheer people. I've always, I've been one of those people that wears black, sits in the background, doesn't really stand out.
Right.
But because of my first regional training conference where I was a chaperone, I started doing cheers on the way home. And so, I tortured my family, and it was because I got so much energy in one weekend that it just glowed out of me for a week. And our students aren't leaders of the future; they're leaders of the now.
That's correct.
Because they're doing stuff now. They see a problem and they don't know the word no.
Right.
And it's so cool to see them. And yesterday I was in Vacaville, which is, I try to give landmarks, and it's like, it's not too far away from Napa, not too far away from Fairfield. If anybody knows where any of those places are. But we're in the process of building a brand new club there. And it's like, John goes, how do you feel? It's like, I feel good. Oh, so good. Boogada. Yeah. I love the energy Key Club.
I'm so surprised that, and shame on me, I thought about it on Sunday because we had 3 of the lieutenant governors there, or 4 people actually there. I apologize that we didn't ask them how they felt. I thought for sure somebody would do that to them. And I should have. I thought about it, but it just didn't come out of my mouth. John, can you delete that partial video off of the roundtable, please? The roundtable video, which is where this feed started.
Yes, I know. But no, I can't do that right now.
Why not? You're multifaceted.
Well, I'll have to disconnect this.
No, don't disconnect that. So those of you joining us on Facebook, we had a little technical snafu at the beginning of the show. If you want to see the beginning of the show and why I have a Batman belt on the desk, go over to the Roundtable Facebook page, because the wrong switch was thrown by John, but that's okay. He's been a little, off target this week for reasons that
all the drugs I took in the 60s
are finally catching up to him. That's right. So we apologize for the first couple of minutes not being on the Facebook page for the show. It is over on the Roundtable, but it was just us talking about why I have a Batman belt and all Batman stuff.
YouTube,
and I want to do another shout out so that people on Facebook know it's like our number one fan all the way through this season has been Doug Chadwick. And Doug has made relationships with people across the world of Kiwanis. And one of them is a relationship with Warner Brothers. and the Kiwanis Leadership Club Foundation. And so that's how we get all that amazing Batman gear. And it's cool.
You know, when he
It's
talked,
very cool. So I wanted to do that special shout out to
yeah,
Doug.
absolutely. Absolutely. You know, when we were at DCon and we were talking about the Batman stuff after, you know, he turned to me and he said, I also can get you Superman stuff. And I said, don't curse at me like that. I mean, why would I want Superman stuff, you know, as Batman? Batgirl maybe, Batgirl stuff I can give to my wife, but no, but yeah, definitely. And I know he was also those wonderful gifts you handed out to the lieutenant governors, and I was so honored to receive one as well. Those the frames, right? Those Wi-Fi frames that you can shoot pictures to. That was tremendous, and I understand that Douglas was able to secure some of that from them. Yeah.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So he made it possible for me to be able to give multiple gifts out to everybody. And so he's just so creative. And I'm looking forward to seeing what he's going to do as a second year lieutenant governor. You know, not many lieutenant governors in our district get the chance to serve more than once.
Mm-hmm.
And so when you get that privilege, you just get to sort out what you're doing. And then the second year, you just thrive. And I'm a slow learner, so I was lieutenant governor 4.5 terms. And so each time I thrived a little bit more, but my learning curve, you know, was a little slow.
That's okay. That's all right.
Being a lieutenant governor is one of the best jobs out there. And there are still a couple of divisions in our district that don't have lieutenant governors. So if you're out there watching and if you've been a past president of one of your clubs, it doesn't matter if you're a president in your current division or not, or if you were a past lieutenant governor somewhere else, that still makes you eligible to be a lieutenant governor where your home club is. And so I would encourage people to do it. It was probably, on good days, it wasn't the best job because my governor job's the best. But on mediocre days, oh my goodness, being lieutenant governor was the best.
Yeah, you know, it's just one of those things that, you know, when you're in anything, you're going to have good days and bad days. You know, the key is to try to stay consistent yourself mentally and handling the ups with the downs. I mean, if anybody thinks everything is going to be up high, you know, forever, then that's the first mistake you make. So being able to be consistent and find the time to stay in balance, and maybe that's something we should talk about, is how to balance personal and your business life, in this case, personal and Kiwanis stuff, to find that balance as you don't feel burned out. Maybe we'll talk about that in a little bit. We're going to get ready to go to our first break. I do want to make a couple other announcements very quickly to those of you who are part of the Jewish tribe, as I am. Want to just wish everybody a happy Rosh Hashanah. It starts tonight, tomorrow, and Sunday, which is the Jewish New Year. I was meant to look up the actual number. I think it's like 5,750 something years. So, and then in 10 days from now is Yom Kippur, which is the Day of Atonement. But tonight, enjoy a happy New Year. I have not announced our special guest because, you know what? I'm not going to announce until we come back from break. We'll have our special guests on with us. Susan, I see Susan. Oh, there you go. Susan, how are you? Division 33, she checks in. Yes, absolutely. Brother from another mother. Thank you so very much. And she sends a shout out and a good morning to you, my friend. By the way, also real quickly, the Maui show that we did a couple of weeks ago, where we were talking about the rescue and support, ladies and gentlemen, I'm proud to say that show has garnered so far 115,000 plus views. That's right, 115,000 views of that show. And we couldn't have done that without all of you out there, because that show is very important on a lot of reasons in a lot of ways. So we want to thank John Buck for coming in on that. He was here on that day for that, and everybody else who participated. 115,000 views is wonderful, and we thank you for that. All right. With that, it is time to step aside for our first break, because when we come back, I'm going to introduce our special guest. That person should be connecting during the break. If not, it's going to be a very awkward segment. Isn't that true? Anyway, thank you for watching Kiwanis Connects. We'll be right back.
Aloha. I am so glad to be able to invite you to Kiwanis Connects on WWDBTV, because we have some fascinating shows going on. And so join us on Fridays at 9 a.m. And if you can't join us then, look at all the different links of where you can find us to see the different amazing shows that I do with Aaron and all the crew at WWDBTV.com.
Thank you, Governor Val, for that great message. Good morning, everybody. I'm Aaron Phillips, co-host of Kiwanis Connects with Governor Val, and this message is for all of you great lieutenant governors here in the Cal Neva District. As a reminder, we created a Kiwanis commercial that is dedicated to the clubs here in the Cal Neva District. You've seen it talked about, you've seen it on the show, and on the heels of a recent episode where we talked about branding, a commercial we think is a pretty good tool for you all to have. Now, I want to remind everybody, and there are two options that you can take advantage of. Number one, you could take the existing commercial and simply brand it with your club's information at the end of the message. That's $75 to make that edit. Real simple, and contributions do go to Governor Val Direct to maintain the popular Kiwanis Connect show. Now, if you'd like something a little more detailed and customized with your club specific and pictures and everything that's going on, well, we can do that too. There's three options there. For a 30-second commercial, it's $200. 60-second commercial is $250. And if you'd like 90 seconds to deliver the message, that's only $300. All the work is done here at Worldwide Digital Broadcasting Studios with your support. And reach out to me and I can give you all that information. Email me at KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. That's KiwanisConnectsInfo@gmail.com. Continued success for the rest of this administrative year and the future for your clubs, and I look forward to seeing you all at the district convention in August. Thank you, Lieutenant Governors. We appreciate your time and effort. All right, welcome back. Oh, there it is. Oh, is that Batgirl in it too?
Yes.
Oh my goodness. Oh, I love that. Oh, Yvonne DiCarlo was so, I have to say this, Val, so don't throw any stones at me. But Yvonne DiCarlo playing Batgirl, she was sexy in that Batgirl suit. I don't think I saw anything tighter until I saw Michelle Pfeiffer play Catwoman.
Yep, pretty much. I'm with you. Yep.
7 of 9.
Oh, Star Trek 7 and 9. Jeez Louise. Anyway, welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. Well, I can't see it through the monitor, John.
I know.
That commercial you just saw talking about the commercials, we will edit out that last part about decon because obviously that's past. But I want to thank 29 Palms, Mr. Herman Platsky. He and his club submitted a request for just the version, taking the original one and then having his club information added at the end. Why? Because starting next week, they're going to use it for a new club building. That's right. They're using it as a tool to build a new club. What a great way to use the commercial to get the word out. So thank you to everybody participating. Again, please take advantage of it. All of the donations.
You know what they use for landscaping up in 29 Palms?
I'm afraid to ask. 29 Palms?
In addition to tumbleweeds.
Oh, jeez. Oh.
And having been a resident of Morongo Valley, I can say that.
Yes, you can. Good morning, Delia. Thank you for jumping in the chat room. We appreciate it. All right. So before we get to
I wanted to say good morning to she goes as Chuggy Portales, but Claudia. Claudia was in Vacaville with me yesterday, and I'm going to tell you a little bit more about that later. But I wanted to say good morning, Claudia. I'm glad you made it home safe.
Absolutely, absolutely. Shout out to everybody. Lower left-hand corner, if you're watching in the chat room, is that little big? Is that little big? That's an oxymoron. There's that little arrow there in the corner that has a hook. If you hit that, you can share the live feed right now to your own personal Facebook page and show the world what Kiwanis is about. All right, Val, I decided this week, instead of hitting you with 3 dad jokes at the end, I'm going to do one at each segment today. I'll spread them out, okay? And then we'll get to our guest. So today's first one is this. Why is 6 scared?
No. You said that wrong.
No, I said it the way it's written
Well,
here.
they wrote it wrong.
Well, that's too bad. Abraham.
Because they want to know why 6 was afraid of 7.
Well, that's not the way it's written here.
Well, he's an idiot.
It was written by Abraham Lincoln. It must be true.
Because they're following. He's being followed.
Why? No. Well, why is 6 scared? Because 7, 8, 9. That's for the educators out there. I got two more beauties.
Yikes,
anyway,
yikes.
Let me introduce our special guest today. She is hailing from California. You all know her as Governor Val. She is our special guest today because why? We have 2 weeks left in this administrative year, And I know Val's got a lot of plans with 15 days left. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about some things moving on in the future. Maybe she'll reflect on some of the things of the past year. Nonetheless, that's right. Governor Val is officially in the hot seat today as our official guest. So no question is going to be not unasked. I don't know if I said that right. But anyway, good morning, John Crawford. I'm sorry, John. You are right. Decongestant medicine. I inadvertently said Yvonne DiCarlo. She was Lily Munster. Yvonne Craig was Batgirl. Thank you for catching that, John. I know who was who, but I got sinus decongestant stuff for 2 weeks in my body, and I'm lucky I know where I'm sitting right now. Anyway, so Governor Val, 15 days left before we bring the curtain down on your administrative year as governor of the fantabulous Calneva District. What are your plans that you see for the next 15 days to be accomplished?
I am on the road every day for the next 15 days. And included in that are helping open 8 new clubs over the next 15 days. And so I'll be visiting with John in San Diego, because we have the San Diego Marina in downtown San Diego, which is a vertical club, which means in a high rise, there's over 200 units in that high rise with a number of families and things going on in the community. So we're doing something new in our district with John Crawford. We're also reopening a club out in Coronado, which is an island with an amazing community of retired military and a number of really great students and schools. And I get to visit with Delia next week. And so Delia is actually opening 3 different clubs. One is with Herman Platsky. Sorry, Herm. That we're going to be in Yucca Valley, and that's why he's using the commercial. And then we're going to be opening the Greater Coachella Valley Club. And then we move on to Indio. Indio is an up-and-coming community. We've already joined their Chamber of Commerce. Their amazing leader in the Chamber of Commerce has joined the Kiwanis Club. So we're so excited. And last night, Claudia joined me, and we chartered the Vacaville Kiwanis Club. And so right now we're waiting to file the paperwork, because they're figuring out, that'd be rock, paper, scissors to figure out who gets to be secretary. And as soon as we have that secretary, then we'll be able to file the paperwork for that brand new club.
Right.
And so I'm so excited about that. I'll also be going to Hawaii in the last week of this month. And so I'll be both on the Big Island in Gaki and Maui, because now the cameras have all shifted. And we talked about that at our Maui show, that once the cameras left and the movie stars left, that's when the real work begins. And so that'll be a big part of where I'm headed. So in 15 days, a lot of different places, including Humboldt, of all places.
Okay.
Yeah.
What's going on in Humboldt?
They've reserved the date so that I can go do an official governor's visit. It's been a long time since the governor's gone up there. And so I said, yep, I'll come up and do that. So I'll be doing a turnaround to Humboldt.
Very good. So how many new clubs have been added since the beginning of the administrative year?
We've added 9 as of tonight, last night.
Okay.
To the new administrative year. And my ultimate goal was to make sure that we added up to 25 by the end of October. And so we're going to exceed that goal. And we're working in partnership with Claudia, because she's the new membership director for our district. So I love working with other people to make this stuff happen.
Oh, absolutely. Listen, a big job as it is to be governor. We all know you can't do it all. You have to have delegations of people to handle things. Diane Anthony is asking in the chat room, what is the Humboldt date?
The Humboldt date is actually September 26th. They just put it on the calendar. So I'm going to need some people to go help in San Diego so that they won't miss me. Because they have some heavy hitters in San Diego, but Humboldt doesn't have anybody who's gone up to help represent. So Diane, if you want to go up with me on the 26th, we can carpool.
There you go. And as you may have missed at the beginning of the show, Governor Val's beaten down the second car, so she may need that carpool opportunity, right?
Absolutely. Yep. Car number two, added 32,000 miles to it since March. So yeah, it's going into the shop today.
Right.
Yeah.
I just had, and of course, one club waiting to charter is one here in my hometown, and that is the downtown Kiwanis Club that hopefully we should be at the finish line when? Maritza's in the chat room, by the way.
Yeah, so Maritza, I'm thinking the 22nd. I can actually fly in, be live for the show, and also help us charter on the 22nd. What say you? Put it in the chat or give us a call. How about that for my radio voice?
Ooh, that was very good, actually. I was convinced there. 702-992-3207 is our number. Call in with a question. Do you have a question for Governor Val regarding her term, last couple of weeks, the future, whatever? Please call in or put in the chat room. If you are watching us on the YouTube channel, you can also put your questions there in the comments box. John is able to pull those in as well to show us. So we appreciate that. So what has been for you since the start of again, with all your experience and everything leading into the position, but what for you at the beginning of the year did you think was going to be a huge challenge that today, if you reflect on, maybe was not as big a challenge as you thought because it was easier or whatever?
I thought my biggest challenge would be the politics in our district. And that's because we're the largest district in North America. And we do more service hours and provide more scholarships than any other district in the Kiwanis world. And so there's a lot of politics that goes with that because everybody has a lot of opinions. But because of I know it's an understatement, right?
Yeah.
But because of the team that I was able to put together and the amazing lieutenant governors and trustees that I work with, this has probably been the most unifying year ever because people have had the opportunity to live their dream.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody that I worked with, I asked, what is your legacy going to be? How can I help you get there? And trustees had never been asked that question before.
Mm-hmm.
And the lieutenant governors have knocked it out of the park. So while I've been able to bring people together and show up, that politics has really gone away. It's amazing.
I got to tell you, and I've shared this with you privately, but in the past, when I was part of the New Jersey district, even when I first came out here and became part of this district as lieutenant governor, I had visions of someday perhaps wanting to step into that role of governor, over the years. However, one of the things that cooled me off on it, a couple of things. Number one is time. I mean, obviously, I'm not in a position yet in my life where to do what you do, you can't really have a full-time gig. You know what I'm saying? You have to make the time to manage and run the district. But for me, it's the politics, because there are so many hands in the pots, and the politics within the organization can both be good and bad. It could be good politics where everybody wants to share their ideas, but there's always the bad side because of people saying things, doing things to posture themselves in a way that probably is inappropriate. I don't have patience for that. Listen, I'm from Jersey, man. I'm a 10-minute ride in New York City. I have no patience for garbage like that. And that's one of the things that, very happy to be a lieutenant governor. My divisions that I've been part of, blessed being a member now multiple times and being a charter member of different clubs throughout my career. Susan Wells says, Governor Val, please add to your accomplishments that Taft College added a new CKI club, Circle K, signing up 36 new members yesterday. Thanks to First Mate Andy for your guidance also.
Well, I thank you, Susan, for putting that out there, because that was my second thing that I was worried about, was that I love being married, and I wasn't sure that my marriage was going to be able to withstand this year. And so First Mate Andy totally 100% of his heart believes in supporting college students and helping college students. And he's really bought into the fact that if we support our college students in joining Circle K, that ultimately they're going to join Kiwanis when they graduate. It may not be right after they graduate. It may be 5 years later, but they're going to be they're going to be Kiwanians for life when they join. And so we still have challenge coins that are available. And our challenge coins are a $10 donation, and they go towards the KIC program and the KIC initiative. And I just want to let you know, it's like it doesn't affect their financial aid when we help through the KIC initiative. And that's been the biggest worry that students have had, is that when we give them money, it will diminish how much financial aid they get. But we're paying for their travel to be able to go to fall training, paying for their travel to go to international convention, and their travel to go to district convention and run for office. And so that's made a huge difference for them. And I want to thank all of the people that raised money at the district convention for the KIC program, because over $4,000 was raised just to help our students and to make sure that the presidents had a roundtable. So all the presidents of Circle K met at our district convention and had a chance to be trained. That's magic.
That's, sometimes people can look inside what organization from the outside, look into organizations saying, well, I wonder what they do. You hear them on the news doing one thing, two things, three things. But when you hear stories like this, or the accomplishments that are made to support our, I still call them sponsored youth because I'm an old school guy, but the SLP programs and students in general, that's the stuff that needs to get out in the public to change the perception of who Kiwanis is and what we do. And I love the fact that we continue to support our SLPs. Let me try to get into the today vernacular. And Circle K needs to be taken care of so that they do slide into becoming a Kiwanian at some point. You use the magic timetable of 5 years. I got to tell you, Val, that's exactly how long it was before I joined a Kiwanis club. Even after I got married, I wanted to make sure that the marriage was good. Eileen and I joined together. But you're right, it was 5 years before I decided to get involved in Kiwanis, simply because of needing to start a life. Before we go to our second break, I want to share this from John Brummer. It's in the chat room, but for those listening on the app, remember to submit your interclub reports by November 15th for the contest. Go to cnhkiwanis.org under awards, recognition, interclub contest. It's a new form this year. Make sure you submit the new form. Any questions, you can email John at jrbkp. John, could you put any more letters into the email address, for crying out loud? jrbkpltg7@gmail.com. Holy cow. We're going to get ready to go to break with Val. I'm going to send us to break with joke number 2. All right. So this one is on behalf of everybody that's got a little cold. So please don't throw any stones at me. How do you make a tissue dance? This is an old one. How do you make a tissue dance?
Oh, I heard this. You put a little boogie in it.
There you go. On that note, we're going to boogie on out for break number 2. Okay, hey, but we have a special treat. Herman, I hope you're watching. Here is the 29 Palms commercial that they are now using to recruit. We'll be right back. International is a global community of clubs, members, and partners dedicated to improving the lives of children, one community at a time. Today, we stand with more than 550,000 members, from K-Kids to Key Club to Kiwanis, for all ages in over 80 countries around the world. Each community has different needs, and Kiwanis empowers members to pursue creative ways to serve the needs of children, such as fighting hunger, improving literacy, and offering guidance. Kiwanis clubs host nearly 150,000 service projects each year.
For more information, contact Herman Platsky at KiwanisClub of 29Palms.com.
All right. Welcome back to Kiwanis Connects. That's what happens on the live show, ladies and gentlemen. I love that commercial. The voice at the end, I'm not so sure about. I got to teach that guy how to do voiceovers, but I do want to thank John for doing that tail end voice there. I promised Herman a quick turnaround because they wanted to use it for building a club, looking for members. And I just could not get into the studio quick enough. So John was kind enough, amidst Val, everything we talked about before the show started, what was going on here at the studio, John was able to quickly do that voiceover for us to get the commercial out quickly to Herman. John?
And I did it with style.
Oh my God.
I raised
Sometimes,
my screen because I kept thinking, I want to be able to show off and do show and tell of so many things because did you in Cal Neva gave out $4.2 million in scholarships this year? $4.2 million.
4.2 million?
Million.
Wow.
And so there
That's
are a lot
terrific.
of clubs. Yeah, there are a lot of clubs that say, all we do are scholarships. That's the only service that we do. And the reality is they do a lot of fundraising so that they can give out those scholarships. And so like in Garden Grove, which is one of my favorite clubs to hang out with, they do the concessions at the fair, the Orange County Fair. And they make lots and lots and lots of money. And they make dreams come true with the scholarships. There are so many kids that have said, I couldn't have gone to USC without this scholarship, and I couldn't have been a doctor without Kiwanis.
Absolutely.
That's just amazing. And so that's why I'm going out and helping open as many clubs as I can, because we need more Kiwanians. There are clubs out there that have 7, 8, and 9 key clubs that they're sponsoring on their own, and they're sponsoring them in multiple towns. I look at Elko, and many people don't know where Elko is in Nevada.
Even people in Elko don't know where Elko is.
Well, they do. They're pretty amazing. But they go over the hill and over the snow to sponsor a key club that's 30 miles away from them because they know how important it is to have Kiwanis and how to support those key clubbers. That's the magic. We owe our students our time. We don't need to give them our treasure because they know how to fundraise. But we owe them our time, and we owe them the talent that we have because many of them want to do exactly what we're doing. There's so many people that say, how do I get to meet that Aaron guy? He is so cool. That's because they want to be just like you. And to know that's pretty darn cool.
No, I don't think it is. Matter of fact, on that note, I'm sorry, I don't mean, but you brought it up this way. At the meeting on Sunday, the lieutenant governors that were there, they asked me to be the keynote speaker at their function on the 21st of October.
Just fantastic.
So.
Absolutely fantastic.
To be a key club member, to be a keynote speaker?
That's the key.
Your eligibility is done.
That's right. I got it all covered. Anyway, I'm sorry you brought up about that, so it just popped into my head. So
no, absolutely. And as I look at where this district is headed, we've got a phenomenal strategic plan that's been worked on all year long. And that strategic plan looks at how to develop our membership. And the core to developing membership is making sure that our clubs are strengthened and that we're inviting and inclusive. And so this district has done something I'm very proud of, is that we are the first district in all of Kiwanis to have, by bylaws and policy, a standing committee on diversity, equity, and inclusion. And we also have a preamble to our bylaws. That preamble is basically putting our money where our mouth is and letting people know that if we want to affect the children of the world, then we need to invite the people of the world and be inclusive in our clubs to be able to serve. And so it's as simple as that. And other districts are now following. The New York district has now developed a standing committee, and they pro rata stood up and said, if Cal Neva can do it, we can. And so did the Rocky Mountain District. And so I'm really excited that we are leading the world by people like Angela Nowlin, who led this committee and put together a whole process. And so you're going to see a lot coming up this year where it'll be how to celebrate affinity months. So today is it kicks off National Hispanic Heritage Month. And so there'll be lots of ways for you to be able to celebrate that and bring in new members that you might not normally have invited because you didn't think about how you could do it.
Can I bring up what we talked about regarding judging and prejudging, because I think that fits right in what we're talking about here. Val and I were talking at breakfast, and then I presented this a little bit at the meeting on Sunday. You know, the worst thing you can do in any position, whether it's a sales position, you're selling a product, is prejudging people, okay? It is not my position to decide yes or no as to whether somebody's interested in doing something. It's like you want to go to the party, right? But you're waiting for an invite. You're not going to just go in because somebody made a prejudgment as to whether they thought I would be interested or not. That's my decision to make. So the worst thing that can happen is whoever you ask to join Kiwanis, they say no, you're no worse off than if you ask them and they said yes, if you never ask them. So my point to this is that approach anybody. It doesn't matter, because the people who say no, in your mind, who are going to say no, they're going to be the ones that would probably say yes if you didn't ask them. And the ones that you think, oh, they're going to join, they're going to do this, you know what? You'll be surprised if they're the ones that say no. So folks, don't prejudge who you think could be a member. Do something, a little T-bar exercise. Put names down of people who you want to ask. Anybody and everybody. Just ask them. Nike said it. Just do it. Right? Worst case scenario, if they say no, you're no worse off if you didn't ask them in the first place. So you'd be surprised. Anyway, there you go.
Absolutely.
Morning, Scott Hosey.
You know, one of the things I go back to, and I've told people this story a million times, is that I actually volunteered for a Kiwanis club for over 10 years, and they never asked me to join. But they loved the fact that I came and joined, was helping out and doing things. And I think that there was some prejudgment on my ability to pay and my busyness, and the fact that I didn't live within 5 minutes of where they met, even though half their members didn't live within 45 minutes of where they met. And so all of those things meant they missed out on having me as a member in their club. And I'm very thankful to the clubs that ask me. And so today I was in my Greater Turlock Kiwanis Club meeting. We start meeting at 6:30 in the morning on Fridays. I'm not sure how many people would do that, but it's the best time of my week because there's so much energy. They're always asking new people to join, and we do stuff. It's very, very cool. We do stuff. And that's what brings people in.
Yeah, absolutely. You get people involved doing something, they see the purpose. And I think that's really kind of what it boils down to, because then they'll have the reason to get out of bed early enough to make a 6:30 meeting. That's for darn sure. So, all right, we're up against our last break, but instead of giving you the last joke I have, I'm going to give you a riddle, and then the joke, the last one I have, will do it there. This is a serious joke. So, school buses, right? If you could picture a school bus in your head, there are 3 black lines on the body of the bus, both sides, okay? If you picture a bus, school bus, okay? What are those lines? Those lines are not there just for looks. There's John, you're disqualified. You know the answer. So those lines have purposes on those buses. When we come back, I'm going to see if anybody knows what they are in the chat room. What are the purposes of those 3 lines on the school bus? They're not just for aesthetics. There is a purpose. You're watching Kiwanis Connects. Governor Val's in the hot seat today. I'm Aaron Phillips. I get the griller today. We'll be right back.
I'm Matt.
I'm Chief.
And I'm Aaron. And together we are
Thoughts Count Anywhere.
Join us every Saturday from 9 to 11 a.m. Pacific Time.
Right here on WWDBTV Network and all the shows that are available for you to watch. And why is that?
Because the Chief says so.
International is a global community of clubs, members and partners dedicated to improving the lives of children one community at a time. Today, we stand with more than 550,000 members, from K-Kids to Key Club to Kiwanis, for all ages in over 80 countries around the world. Each community has different needs, and Kiwanis empowers members to pursue creative ways to serve the needs of children, such as fighting hunger, improving literacy, and offering guidance. Kiwanis clubs host nearly 150,000 service projects each year. For more information, visit www.kiwanis.org. All right, welcome back. We're coming around the clubhouse turn here for Kiwanis Connect. So, Val, think of that school bus, right? and I wish we could zoom in on it, but unfortunately we're only using one camera today. But if you pull up a picture of a school bus on Google, you'll see 3 lines on there. Governor Val, do you think you know what those lines are for?
Are they to estimate the height of a child?
Oh, ding, 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 ding. So,
Really?
absolutely. So the bottom line is the line for the floor of the bus. Okay. The middle line is the seat line. And of course, the top line is the top of the seats. Why? Because if, God forbid, there's an issue and firefighters have to get in and cut the bus, they know where the kids are, where the line is in separation, and so they can properly get in without causing any bodily harm to anybody on the bus. Exactly.
Oh,
Good job,
wow.
Governor Val.
I'm this day old and I learned a new thing.
Right. I saw this on Facebook on somebody's page. I didn't know this. I never even, and those lines where they are, the seats and the floor, whatever, hell, is reinforced. Those lines are reinforced on the bus so that they really don't get dismantled, God forbid, in an accident. But the firefighters and first responders know where everybody is. And John, to answer your question, I have no idea who thought about that. Maybe it was John Henry School Bus. I don't know. Somebody did that, and it was very smart of them to do that. All right. So there you go. There's a fact for the day. Not only do we make you laugh and give you Kiwanis information, but doggone it, you're going to become a great Trivial Pursuit partner with stuff like that. That's for darn sure. Anyway, Governor Val's in the hot seat today. So what else you got? We got about 12 minutes left in today's show. We have Val on the road. If you want to do that, I know you kind of touched on it early. That's up to you if you want to refresh everybody. But we got 12 minutes. What's left on the docket for you for the rest of the year?
Well, I actually get in a rented vehicle on Sunday, and I don't come back home until the 29th of September. And so I really want to talk about something that's really close to my heart right now, which is going back out to Maui. All of the cameras are gone because there was a gigantic earthquake and all the celebrities are gone. And so now is the perfect time for you to think about going to Maui for a vacation. And I really, really want you to pack 2 bags because there are a number of ships out there with supplies, but they can only be unloaded so fast. And so by you taking essential items in a second suitcase, you will make a difference. And to give my shout out to Alaska Airlines, that when you're giving humanitarian aid, they're not going to charge you for that extra bag or that extra poundage. And so put in their feminine hygiene products, baby wipes, and adult diapers, and those underwear, and those kind of things. The kind of things that run short at your normal food pantry or your basic closet that you give, your kindness closet. They're looking for towels. They're looking for pillowcases and face cloths and soap. Those are the kind of things that run short, that aren't being unloaded from the ships very fast. And so go out, rent a car. Some of the hotels are down to 15% occupancy.
Wow.
And most of Maui is open. And so Hawaiian Airlines is doing a $99 each way to Maui, and that you can hop on a plane, go over, hang out, and it would be less than going to many locations that we currently have that people go to for a fast weekend. And I can tell you, you gain a couple hours flying out and you sleep over and lose a couple hours coming back, but it's a well worth it trip. And don't plan on going to Lahaina quite yet.
Yeah.
They're not ready for a voluntation. But this time next year, we'll do some voluntations where we'll go and help build that new playground. We'll go and help put playgrounds in at the schools and build a new library. But for now, if your clubs want to know what to do a fundraiser, a special fundraiser where you send your money to the Kiwanis Club of Maui Foundation or the Kiwanis Club of Kahului Foundation. They're both 501c3s that are going to be managed by Kiwanis members and the Salvation Army, so that your donation goes 100% to improving the lives of kiddos and our seniors that hopefully will come back to Lahaina.
For those who joined us after the show started, I said this at the top of the show that we did a couple of weeks ago with John Buck Good morning, Jennifer from Hawaii, by the way. That show regarding what we called the Maui show, over 115,000 views of that show alone a couple of weeks ago regarding Kiwanis' effort in support of those out in Lahaina and Maui and whatnot. So that kind of show, we're spreading the message. 115,000 people saw that show. But the one thing that Governor Val mentioned is if you're going to do any fundraising, make sure the funds are properly earmarked as to where you want them to go, because otherwise they may not get to where you want them to go. Right, Val?
Absolutely. And we know that we've been talking with people that made donations through the big ones, the Red Cross, the United Way, and they are very clear on the commercials. It's just in tiny print. But when you're making that donation, you have to make a notation that it's going to Maui Disaster Fund or it's going to the Lahaina fires. If you say it's going to Hawaii, it goes into the Hawaii General Fund. Or if you just say it's disaster relief, it goes into the National Disaster Relief Fund. And so that's why you need to be very specific. Even with our own CNH Foundation and Children's Fund, you need to make a notation as to where your money should go. And the reason is because it's an automated donation process. A computer sees your money first, and so it does a funnel. It's general fund first, down to specifics. Yeah, and so at least we know when the money is going to the two organizations I recognize. You know your money is going 100% to exactly where you think it's going to go.
Absolutely, that is so important to do that. So, do you want to do on the road with Val, since you've already kind of touched on that, or give me an idea? Do you want to do that again to review for people just joining us?
I would love to do on the road because I need some help.
Right. So hit it, John. Hit it.
I just remembered I'm gonna put a plug in, because if you saw me in that Barbie car, you see this really cool Kiwanis shirt, and it's Kiwanis Kindness with our rainbow. And you can get that same T-shirt through our LGBT support club that's down in the Palm Desert area, and it's led by Delia. And so that shirt is absolutely selling like hotcakes, and you're going to want one of those. And so the reason I plug that too is I'm going to be wearing that shirt starting Sunday, because I am headed down to the Palm Desert area, and we need help. If you know people in Yucca Valley, help me with working with Herman Plotsky so that we can open a club in Yucca Valley. Their kiddos really need the support. The high school students need to have the opportunity to have a key club. They've been missing out. And so if you know people, family members, send them down to Palm Desert, and we're going to be doing that. And while we're there, we're also going to be opening a club in Indio. Indio is one of the hottest growing areas. There's so much growth and development downtown. It's amazing. And so Delia is going to share how much that T-shirt is. But we need help. We need people physically there. We need referrals to be able to make these clubs open. And then the Coachella Valley, the Greater Coachella Valley Club, is going to be opening. Everybody is so excited and ready to go. And so we're going to end our week doing that. If Coachella Valley and Indio are too hot for you, we're going to be opening clubs in San Diego. And so we're joining John. And I think the end of next week, we're opening a club with John in Coronado. And so the week right after that, we'll be opening different clubs. And so I want to make sure that I'm not going way too far in the future, because we'll see me again next Friday. But under my belt at that point, I'm really trying my darndest to make sure that the Las Vegas Club opens next Friday. And so my hope is that if there are more people in downtown Las Vegas that want to see us, we will meet at 7 a.m. And where's the location you think would be great?
You're asking me about that?
I'm asking you. Should they come to the studio?
You know what? Yeah, let's charter here in the studio right after the show.
All right. So
Or
we'll be
during the show.
Because we have the Kiwanis house coming in here at 10
Oh, that's right. That's right.
on
Well,
the 22nd. We have the show at 9.
so we're here. Yeah.
Right, we'll hear.
Kiwanis Family House Paul and Company. They're coming in next Friday, not to be on the show, but they're coming in to film some content, which I will be interviewing them for. We'll get out. Don't worry about it. We'll get out. So let's do it here at the studio. You know what? I got an idea.
We can film it.
We can stream it live.
Whoa, yeah, that'd be a great idea.
If only we could find a studio who could do that. Let's stream it live here. Absolutely. That's a great idea.
Yeah, so everybody can see it.
That's wonderful. So that is our Friday. So we'll be streaming live, and you'll see how a new Kiwanis club is chartered, and we'll talk about all of that, and then it'll be absolutely awesome. So I'll be coming in. Yay! And the thing is, our dues is $140, and so we'll pay $10 for this month, and then $140 for the rest of the next year. And so we're just so excited to be able to do that, accept Venmo, cash, credit cards, and any way you want to pay your dues.
Traveler's checks.
I'll take it.
You'll take traveler's checks?
Absolutely. I know how to make them work.
Yep. Does anybody even buy traveler's checks anymore? I don't even know.
I
But
don't think so. I don't think so.
I'll send Maritza the studio address. I mean, she's been here, but I'll send her the address. So whatever communication that needs to go out sooner than later to let everybody know to come here and plan. And I'll tell you what, you're coming in. So we'll prepare like bringing in bagels or something to celebrate and whatever. We'll figure that stuff out and do that. I think that's great. That's got to be a first. I've never heard of any club ever streaming a charter agenda. I think that'll be cool.
Yeah, let's make it happen.
That's a kind of cool background.
Yeah, you do.
We'll have a fabulous background, and everybody gets to sign the wall. But one of the things that I want to put out there again, because since I'm, you're put me on the hot seat today. I am so thankful for each and every one of you, and the amount of time, talent, and treasure that you invest in your communities. There are so many more communities out there that need us. And so if you have friends and family that don't have Kiwanis, don't ask them, do you want to join? As someone put into our chat, ask them, why aren't you Kiwanians yet? I did that with my friend Douglas Chadwick 6 years ago, and it's been one of the best relationships in the world because I said, why isn't literacy a Kiwanis club? And since then, we now have 7 literacy clubs around the Kiwanis world because of that one question of why isn't this a part of Kiwanis?
Mm-hmm.
And so when you're talking with people and you're meeting with business owners and you're meeting with your next door neighbor, you tell them how amazing your club is and what you love about your club, and then say, why aren't you a part of that? I wish you were. Let me give you an application. Bring them along.
Yeah, absolutely. That was Susan Wells who dropped that in the chat room, who made that comment. Just ask. That's all you got to do, folks. Just ask. That's all what it boils down to. We are just about, we're just the meter's about to run out here shortly, Governor Val. That's not for this one. Oh, there you go. Oh, there's I saw the dino ball come up. So those of you watching who are part of the Downtown Kiwanis Club or any club member here in the division that wants to come support it, you see it on your screen there. WWDBTV is at 4580 North Rancho Drive, Suite 120, zip code 89130. That is 4580 North Rancho Drive, Suite 120, 89130. But I'll get that to Maria so she can get a flyer out. That's going to be a lot of fun. So Kiwanians come down to support the charter. All of us who are chartering will charter, and that'll be the charter. We'll get a charter bus to charter the club, to charter whatever.
Would it have 3 black stripes on it?
It'll be 3 black stripes so that if God forbid, firefighters will know where we are. That's all there is to it. Okay, Delia says our shirt shop is currently under construction, but starting tomorrow, you can order Choose Kindness shirt for $25 at Kiwanis LGBTSO Cal, southerncal.org. All right. So you can do that there. All right. So we're running out of time. Governor Val, final thoughts before I give you the final bad dad joke of the day.
Use every single day that you have to do good. And I keep telling people, yeah, I have 15 more days to be amazing. And I partnered up with so many great people that I know that when we do the drop of the ball and go happy Kiwanis year, we're going to be so proud and so astonished at what we've been able to accomplish. So mahalo.
Right on. Well said. Again, I want to remind everybody who are celebrating Rosh Hashanah. Tonight starts the holiday. A Happy New Year to everybody who will be celebrating that. And tomorrow, National Batman Day. People, get your Batman groove on. Do the Bat-Tusi, right? Got to do the Bat-Tusi. All right. Be kind to everybody. Why? Because we're all I have. Here's your going out joke, Governor Val. Hope it works for you. Why don't animals play poker in the jungle? John, you're disqualified. Why don't animals play poker in the jungle? Because there are too many cheetahs.
Say goodbye.
Say goodbye. Thank you for watching Kiwanis Connects. That's it for this week. Governor Val in studio next week. Everybody, thank you for watching. Be safe. Thank you for passing on. Goodbye. Get out of here. It's time to go. Get me out.